Listen, something very interesting is happening right now. In the last video, we understood that the US is warning Iran, saying, accept our terms or we escalate. And Iran's reply, we have been waiting for this. Now, when a country says that, you know this is not normal situation. One side, the Middle East crisis is getting into peaks. And the other side, in Cuba, there is a silent mind game happening. What is Cuba's story? What are the Trump plans? How Iran is planning to defend US? And in today's video, we're going to discuss all these topics. We'll come back to Cuba's story in meanwhile. We'll try to understand and decode what is the Trump plans, how Iran is going to plan to defend this US and everything, and what is the next steps to be as such. No drama, just facts. So let me explain this to you in a very simple way. This is not just a war story. It's like a multi-layered chess game happening across the world. You have US building pressure, Iran preparing for resistance, oil routes getting controlled, and even countries like Cuba getting pulled into this indirectly. Everything is connected. Let's start with the US. Right now, the US is not just talking, they are preparing. Around 3,500 troops are already positioned in the region. And reports suggest they can quickly scale this up to 10,000 troops. And these are not regular forces. We are talking about highly trained units, rapid deployment forces, even divisions like the 82 airborne involved in this campaign, which means this is not just a pressure. This is preparation for possible ground action. At the same time, their strategy is very clear. They're trying to attack, target power infrastructure, monitor oil hubs, hit economic pressure points, which can really make Iran feel that panic and pressure. Because if you control energy, you control the country. At the same time, even Iran is not keeping quiet. The other side, an Iranian English language newspaper called Tehran Times published a front page headline. You would definitely be surprised, looking at that. It says, "Welcome to hell." Along with that, the message was, if US troops enter Iran, they will leave only in a coffin. It's a very big statement, isn't it? Now here, where it gets more interesting. Iran is not reacting emotionally. They are thinking long-term. Their mindset is very different. They're not trying to win quickly. They are prepared for a long, painful war. Think about it like this. Cheap drones, guerrilla-style tactics, proxy groups across regions. What does this proxy groups means? The first one is Hezbollah, one of Iran's strongest proxies, powerful military plus political group, receives funding, weapon training from Iran and acts as Iran's frontline force against Israel. The second proxy network they have is Hamas and Islamic Jihad, Palestinian group supported by Iran, receiving funding and weapons, and their role is pressure Israel, keep conflict active in Gaza. And the other one is Houthis, Yemen. Iran-backed group in Yemen controls large parts of this country. And their role, attack shipping, Red Sea, pressure Saudi Arabia and global trade. And this is why Red Sea disruptions happen. In few months, this is going to be a big talk show, Red Sea. And the fourth one is Iraqi militias like Harakat al-Nujaba. And their role is targeting US bases, influence Iraq politics. And the fifth one is militias in Syria, various Iran-backed groups operating there. And their role is very specific. Support Assad government, maintain Iran's land corridor to Lebanon. The sixth one is cyber proxies. It's a new layer, hacked groups linked to Iran. Their role, cyber attacks, data breaches, psychological warfare. Even recent cyber incidents show Iran uses proxies here too. So what I'm trying to say here is, Iran doesn't fight alone. It operates through a network of groups, access to the Middle East, and this is what we call its proxy network. And they're very strong in that. They're very strong in that. Iran's strength is not just its military. We all know IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. That is its network. And what is Iran trying right now? Their goal is very simple, and they're prepared for that. And they know what is coming. They know who is coming behind them. So they want to do this, make it so expensive that the US doesn't want to continue. And we already saw some signs of this. For example, there were attacks involving ballistic missiles, around 29 to some 35 drones in a single strike. One major incident even damaged a Boeing E-3 Sentry AWACS aircraft. I believe it happened in the late March, around 27th March. Iran launched a missile and drone attack on a US base in Saudi Arabia, damaging a high-value AWACS aircraft, the E-3 Sentry. And even some reports even suggest it may have been destroyed, but the base itself is not destroyed. So people are claiming, and I see in many social media, that they are saying everything is destroyed, everything is damaged. No, it's not. It's all false claims. The base is not at all destroyed, but yes, there were many reports and news articles came up that the aircraft AWACS system has been destroyed, and it's around 270 million. And now this is not small. That aircraft cost hundreds and millions of dollars. So the message from Iran is clear. We may spend less, but we make you lose more. Iran directly controls the Strait of Hormuz. We all know that. But through its regional influence, it can also directly disrupt other critical routes like the Red Sea. It is called as Bab el-Mandeb, and it is controlled by Houthis actually. Slowly, this is becoming another global crisis, and we can see more videos on this in coming months. Okay, all this is happening. But what is the global reaction on this? Is it something that, nobody is reacting onto that? How people in US and globally reacting to this situation, especially in the US and Europe? Last 2 days, there were large protests. Millions of people opposing escalation. Some reports even suggest up to 9 million people involved in protest movements, not for the war, but for no war in Iran. So now you have the situation where governments are escalating, but people are resisting. And it's not in one place, right? Even we have seen in many other places like Europe and everywhere, there are many protests. People have come onto the road saying with the slogans of no war, let's go with the peace, let's go with the negotiations. I don't know. I don't think Trump is going to do that. He's taking his time. He's using the words of negotiation, but I think he's building his own strategy behind. Now let's move to another crisis which is building its heat in Cuba, which is located in North America of Caribbean region. There is no much light on this. Most of the people are busy right now in talking about Middle East crisis, not about Cuba. We all know Trump warning to Cuba, make a deal before it's too late. US blocked oil supply to Cuba, even warned countries sending oil to Cuba could face tariffs, sanctions. Cuba's government is weak and may collapse soon. Trump suggested Cuba is going to be the next. Just to tell in a simple language and summarizing, Trump warned Cuba to make a deal before it's too late, and even suggested that Cuba could be next. But at the same time, he allowed limited oil supply, showing that this is pressure, not full isolation. Cuba is currently facing serious fuel crisis, and they're having power shortages, electricity blackouts, economic pressure. So what did they do? They turned to Russia. Russia sent an oil tanker named Academic Kolodkin, as per the reports. This shipment was expected around March 31st, carrying approximately 730,000 barrels of crude oil. Now, here is the thing. Even when this oil arrives, it's not a long-term solution because Cuba needs much more distribution itself. Distribution itself takes days. It only supports power generation for a limited period. Some estimates say It can only support around 40% of power plants temporarily. This is just a short-term relief. Cuba is not just facing a fuel shortage, it is facing a system-wide economic pressure shaped by global politics. And we don't know where this will lead as it goes off. We have to keep watching on this at least for the next 2-3 months, and then we need to find out where it actually goes. And I'm very skeptical on this. Let's see what happens on the Cuba. And just coming back to our storyline. And guys, what do you think? Do you think there would be a ground invasion by US in Iran? If it happens, what is your guess? Is it a cakewalk for the US or it's going to be hell for whom? Please comment this. So when you look at everything together, this is not just a war. This is military pressure, economic control, energy leverage, digital vulnerability. And the real problem is the US says give up power first. Iran says guarantee safety first. And that's a deadlock. And until that changes, this situation will only move in one direction: escalation. If this helped you understand what is really happening behind the headlines, make sure you please subscribe our channel, because this is just a beginning. And if you haven't watched my previous video where I explained why Iran rejected the US deal, I strongly recommend watching that, because this is just next phase of that story. And if you have watched this video until here, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe, like, and share.